it's done. Meaning that the energy audits are how you qualify the property for the repair. And once that is done, we'll be getting bids and continuing forward. So very excited. Tequila doing a great job with this program. She spent a lot of time coming up with this design. So again, let us know if you have any feedback. Happy to look through that. So very excited about that program.
What was the award in this program?
This is the first $500,000. It's a total $1 million, and we're doing it in $500,000 tranches.
And the total number of recipients or candidates that have gone through the process is 40?
We have 47 applications that are in various stages. So I would say it's likely they will get funded either out of the first $500,000 or the second $500,000. But what we learned in the Neighborhood Inc. meeting on Thursday night, which is also on our YouTube channel, is that Neighborhood Inc. also has some money that they can help in Albion. So one of the things about really trying to align with some of these out county areas is to really be able to bring dollars into Albion. So groups like Neighborhood Inc., who are our HARA, HARA, they are the group that manages most of the housing resources along with the COC. So they are very interested in making sure that no money goes back to the state, but instead gets spent here in Albion or out in the county.
So I asked some of these questions from an informational standpoint, and, certainly sharing with our viewing audience and community. Of the funds allocated, will you have leftover funds that you could have taken more applicants, or are you saturated by the applicants that you have? Do you have an idea? And maybe this is a press release for future programs of this nature to encourage community members to apply.
So the portal for applications is open based on MISHDA's schedule. So the portal is currently closed unless somebody has an emergency, and they can call 211 and they can still apply. So we haven't cut the applications off. It's just that the portal is open when MISHDA sees. So MISHDA does what you're asking. Watches, here you go. She's gonna want this one. MISHDA watches the number of applicants across the state, the numbers that have been allocated to regions, and they watch how much is getting spent. So when they see that they need more applicants, they'll open the portal again. And it is opening again at the end of March, I think the 28th. So there are like every 1 week, every month, it's open again. We let people know now's a good time. But if you ever want to apply, you just call 211 and they have someone from Neighborhood Inc. who will help you apply.
So that would be your 30-second ad is call 211.
Just call anyway, because you can always still apply if you call 211. If you wait until March 28th, we can help you apply. And we also have a new person, Rebecca, who is at the senior center, and she has been allocated to help seniors fill out the application. So I think we have a lot of ways to enter the program, and I would not dissuade anyone from trying to enter the program.
I have been personally very impressed that this is a program, as I understand it, in a generic nature, is designed to help community members who may be seniors or may be depressed from a funding standpoint to maintain their homes, to improve their homes, make them more efficient and the like, to be affordable for that homeowner to stay in their home. So it seems to me that this is a very vital program for our community that we have access to, but we need to make certain that our residents are as aware of it as we can make them, and to encourage them to take the appropriate steps to make that effort to enter the program, make the paperwork, speak up to get some help. right? Replacing heaters, windows, insulation, roofs, and the like is what I understand this program does. And that's encouraging for our community. And so, I guess my ad would be that is that call that 211 number. Don't look at the program as though it's closed. Continue to make an effort. We've got a team on the ground that is making every effort that they can to take in applications and to help you develop the application, right? To help that resident who, may not have the sharpest vision, who may not have all the computer skills needed to make application. We've got a team, Virgie has a team on the ground to help with that. So I encourage you, and as you're making your report, I'll ask you to go on. We have the pleasure of our Mayor Pro Tem, who has joined with us. It'll allow us to have forum, but please go on with your report.
Sure. So thank you for expounding on that. I was just really finished with the report. The pages on 4 until 19 are the slides from Lisa House's event, the Black History Month capstone event here in the city of Albion. Thank you, Pastor. And I'm especially excited to share pages 5 and 6 because those are the comments and the outcome of the presentation. As you can see, 27 of 28 people who responded to the survey felt the presentation was valuable. Most wanted to hear again. Educational, inspiring, engaging, powerful. These were the terms used to indicate how the attendees felt about the program. And then a multiple number of testimonies, some feedback with some improvement items also. So I think it was a balanced amount of feedback, but pretty excited about the program. So I thank you again for supporting that program. Did you want to back up to approve the agenda now?
And from a time standpoint, do you want to group them or do you want to go one at a time?
What I was hoping to do was to go back to item number 4 and maybe have a motion to approve the agenda because now we have a quorum.
Okay, all right, well, let's do that. So just to kind of restate for everyone, we have now quorum. Our effort in these meetings are to move forward with the business of the EDC. So welcome, Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem has the ability to set in for the mayor in her absence, and we welcome you and thank you for doing that. We are on item 4 to approve the agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved and second.
Supported.
I have a support. May I have a vote?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, it passes. The next item is update on new board members. So again, we mentioned, thank you, Bruce, for being with us today. Bruce Nelson's our newest board member, very excited to have an additional board member brought on by mayor and council at the last council meeting. Thank you so much, Mayor, for that addition. And Bruce, I don't know if you would like to say anything. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Great, thank you. Page 21 gives you a slate of the open seats and filled seats. So we are still looking to fill a seat that would expire on June 30th of 26, June 30th of 24, June 30th of 25, June 30th of 26, and June 30th of 27. So I would encourage people to apply. I know we have probably 4 or 5 applicants that I know of that are in process. I know I'm getting calls from the city tax office making me aware that they're working through processes. So I'm excited that maybe we can fill the board, and that I hope that would be I hope that would work because that would be helpful for everybody.
So Mayor Pro Tem, as I have traditionally done in our past meetings, is that I take this small opportunity to encourage the administration office of the city to continue to provide applicants and push them through the system so that we can get a full board for the work of the EDC. And that you're here today, I send that same message to the administration. We welcome the opportunity to see new candidates. We're of course always interested in candidates that are relevant to the EDC's mission and improving the community and the city from an economic standpoint. So looking for experienced candidates that are level-headed and helpful is always welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item of the task force reports and I gave some written notes that are in the packet. I will quickly go through those for the sake of time. We are suspending the Albion Restaurant Group and regrouping with some state and local and regional benefits to the Albion area. We have a group in Marshall who is doing the same type of group, and we're going to work on mirroring their group. So we've taken a step back on that. Community Engagement Task Force, you will find the notes from the last meeting in the agenda packet. The Housing Committee meets monthly, very, very busy. You'll see the minutes from that in the packet. I think I may have included 2 months because we've been doing so much work in that group. That group focuses on attracting developers and providing the resources and the information needed to be successful in Albion. Industry and Business Traction is focusing on the new industrial park and focusing on, again, making Albion an impressive place for people to come and invest. We also have a meeting here from that's the Brownfield. Okay, so Match on Main, that group has started up again. We have not taken any applications. Short capacity right now to be able to take those applications, so I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but it's not my priority right now. I've got a few other priorities. So although the program is open, it would be very difficult for me to manage that right now.
So the program continues to be open.
So it's open for a very short amount of time, and I have not published it to ask for applications because I'm not able to really accommodate. So we had a staff exit that was handling that program. So trying to be careful about making sure we all stay balanced.
So from the perspective of this is a yearly program, is it?
It's 2 or 3 times a year, and they had postponed it. Now they opened it again. It'll be open again later, but right now it's postponed. I just don't have the capacity to take in the applications. We can put 2 in, but I don't have the capacity right now to do that.
So from a team member perspective, you just don't have the capacity. Your
Right.
staff has gone down in number.
Yeah, we lost a critical staff member who was our grant writer, and this was part of that grant writing role.
Certainly, we have the willingness to do it. We just don't have the capacity at this point. So
I would love to do it. I just, that was a surprise that person left.
So from an administrative perspective, what's the future look like? Do you look like you'll have capacity in 3 months, 6 months?
I'm working on a plan to outsource some of that
Okay,
so that we can probably have a more efficient use of dollars.
Okay.
So grant writing, I would be looking to outsource, and then that person also did a fair amount of communications. So I've interviewed 3 communications companies, and I'd like to outsource that also. So we'll be transferring those salary dollars over to some consultants and be a little more specific about our communications and marketing, and also, our grant writing.
okay. So what I've heard is you don't have the human capacity today to do it. You're looking at some alternative means by which to get yourself back to that position. And you'll be bringing those to the board and having conversations about where those dollars can be spent or how you can have some alternate capacity.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, so it's not that we don't want to do it, it's just we don't have the capacity to do it. Great,
Yep.
let's move on.
Yeah, then the nominating committee will have a report in a few minutes. The revolving loan fund committee is actually meeting after this meeting today. And is very busy, actually very, very busy. And then Workforce Development Task Force worked very closely with KCC. They're having a job fair, which we've been invited to participate in on April 17th. And if I have that date wrong, I will correct that, but I believe that's correct. And we also are working with KRISA and KCC on a summer internship program. So that's what the Workforce Development Group is doing. That group also has been recently invited to a Blue Oval update on workforce. So we continue to keep a pulse on what the Blue Oval needs will be for the people, so folks in Albion can get jobs.
Okay.
The next item is a consent agenda, which we don't have one. So then you would want to get a motion to review and approve the February 8th board meetings, the February 21st board meeting minutes, the March 7th board meeting minutes, and that would be it. So I would do those 3 sets of minutes you could do together.
All right. All
I
right,
move that we accept the minutes from February 8th, February 21st, March 7th, and
Wait,
January.
that's the treasure.
Yep.
That's mine.
7th,
Okay,
March 7th, those 3.
Yep.
Can I get a second?
You're gonna have to second because they weren't in the meeting.
you'll have to second.
They weren't never in the meeting.
I will move to, I'm sorry, moving fast, but I will move that we second. May I have a discussion or vote?
All those in favor?
Not hearing any vote, any discussion? Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm not hearing any nays. We'll consider that moved forward. Your treasurer's report?
The treasurer's report begins on page 32. I took the liberty to highlight the headings because for me at 7:30 in the morning, kind of hard to find them. So the first 2 pages are on the Brownfield Fund 243. No anomalies there that I could see. And thanks to the finance director for getting these over to us. I know it's a busy time for him. So Fund 243, the Brownfield reimbursement account, no anomalies there. 244 is our regular operating fund. There are no questions from me on that account. And you can see that and that also continues to the next page, next couple of pages, all cover the EDC. We're operating to budget. On Fund 247, which is the TIFA fund, which starts on 37, no questions on the balance sheet. Just a note on the next page that the property tax revenue does not get accrued into this account right now. So it looks as if we're overspent on the budget, but that's simply because the revenue's not been included. And then the final set of financial reports are for the revolving loan fund. And that begins on page 40. And I would just draw your attention to the amount of 147,000, which is due from the Brownfield account. And this is a subject that the revolving loan fund committee is taking up to have a better understanding of how the new flow of funds from some of our closed out projects, especially the Marriott, will increase the amount of funds in the revolving loan fund. So we have more more money to get out into the community. So that'll be an annual increase to that fund. And there will be steps taken by the revolving loan fund committee to make sure and facilitate updates to the guidelines so that they are spent in a way that is appropriate to the brownfield arrangements and also to, you know, community needs. So
Will that increase vary from period to period, or is that just a relative increase?
it will be about $200,000 a year for 4 years. And after that, that particular brownfield plan will be completed. And then the TIFA dollars would then remain at the DDA. So this is only for the extent and the lifetime of the brownfield arrangement.
So within the revolving loan fund, different monies are designated for different purposes. For example, the DDA money instead will be designated as sort of a subline for that.
So as you were part of the DDA meeting the other
Yes.
day, the revolving loan fund will take that up. I will give them recommendations based on the actual brownfield agreements. And it does appear that those will need to be allocated toward downtown projects. But we haven't written those policies yet. I did promise to get working on that, but as you can see, it's kind of hard to get quorum sometimes, so
Right.
working hard on that. The money is only due to the fund. It's not in the fund yet. And so there isn't a high likelihood anybody would want to spend it and anytime soon. So we are working through that process, but yes, there'll be a change to,
I'm just saying,
Segregating
in
the
that fund, different monies will be designated for different directions. Like the DDA will have a certain part of it, another part.
so again, the DDA doesn't really direct the funds. I think what I understand is that some brownfield dollars, TIFA money will be directed into this fund to support developers in the downtown area. But the revolving loan fund committee will be the arm or the execution that allows the EDC to go ahead and approve those projects. What I think is going to happen is there is a geographic centricity around where the dollars that stemmed from downtown would be spent. That would be very similar to if we do these CIA, which I just love the acronym, but the corridor improvement authorities, if we're able to establish those for Eaton and Austin, it would be very similar. So those authorities would be created, which would then help with TIFA arrangements. But because there's a TIFA, because the EDC is the TIFA board and the Brownfield board and handles the revolving loan fund and is the EDC board. In the end of the day, everything has to flow back through the EDC board. So dollars really can't be allocated. So if we were to do those corridor improvement authorities, it would be another board similar to the DDA, but we would want the checks and balances to flow back through the RLF and the EDC. So there's a way to manage the compliance without having those boards take that compliance work on their own.
And I'll interject to say, in the past, in my tenure, that subgroup has not been designated that way. So this becomes, you know, a new alley, by which, we've heard the request and understand what the requests are. But because it has not been something in the past, then there's still a work in progress to be defined here. If it is to have further definition, right? So I don't wanna block and tackle this issue with a verbal commitment. Yes, there's changes. It has not been in the past. It's all been driven as she has indicated. Looking at it today, then there is consideration to look and see and further define, but we're not looking to reshape the authority chain that has been in place. Let's go on.
Great, thank you. So I think we just need a motion should have done that first. Sorry, I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
So move.
Second. Any further discussion? let's have a vote.
All those in favor?
It's dollars and cents, do it individual.
No, we're not approving a budget. We're just approving the
I
report.
mean, you,
Yep.
you have some do a dollar.
If it's, yeah, this, in this case, it's not an expenditure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have a report from the nominating committee on page 40. Wow, who put these page numbers on here, Virgie? Page 43. So the nominating committee met via email, back and forth, couple conversations. And, the recommendation is that Bruce Nelson be named the treasurer for the EDC through the end of this current year. That would give us more capacity, and relieve the current board member who's handling both the secretary and the treasurer role. So, the nominating committee brings that forward, at this time. So the motion would be from the committee to accept, Bruce Nelson as the treasurer for the EDC for the remainder of the calendar year.
Is there a motion to be had here?
The committee made the motion, so, I don't know if the board member has to also make it.
I believe so.
So moved.
Then just need a second.
I will-
Second it.
We have a second from our Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any further discussion? Not hearing any further discussion. This is a request I would make that we do a roll call.
Yes, yes. Clark,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Harvey, sorry,
Yes,
and Nelson,
Yes.
thank you.
you hardly got your feet under the desk before you had a job, huh?
Kept him busy.
That's good. I like big financial statements that you've got up here.
Okay, all right, great.
The next item is, we would need to review and approve the Brick Street Lofts Winter Brownfield IFT distribution. This begins on page 44. And there is a, spreadsheet at the end of the packet on page 45. And on that spreadsheet there is a dollar amount of $12,611 that is highlighted. That's the amount of the distribution for the winter tax. So just so you have some idea of what's happening here, the taxes were paid, they were more than the $12,000. The amount that's paid is higher than this because the amount that the developer gets back is the incremental component. And they get that payment twice a year until such time as their developer, their reimbursable costs are paid back. So we just did this a short time ago for the summer, and that was the $11,311 payment. So now we just bring forward the $12,611. And now that we are back on track with this particular project, we will do this twice a year. Each time they pay a tax bill, they will get their incremental component back. And so this is the amount for them for this year.
And Virgie, is it spelled out the tax payment that was made versus the return?
You know, it is over here on this other part of the spreadsheet that you can't see here.
Ah,
Sorry, but it is I'm trying to remember what their payment was. It would have been not substantially higher because you see how the base amount is 73,200
Mhm.
and the taxable value is 490. So the amount on the 73,200 is what they don't get back. So it's not significant, the amount they don't get back, but I don't have the particular dollar amount with me right now.
So it's fair to say that the tax that initially was paid is not in excess of $12,000 or $15,000.
Right, yes, yeah.
Okay?
We just need a motion to approve that amount.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Again, here, I would think that we want to do a roll call vote.
Mhm.
I will start out by saying I am in favor, so start with me.
Harvey, yes. Jackson,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Thank you. And now we are on to Board of Director discussion and comments. So any comments from a board member? Or any updates? Mayor Pro Tem, do you have any update from the city?
I don't have any updates, but I did go to that meeting on the other day with uh, Neighborhood Inc. And I think it's very imperative that some of what you said was so correct, all of what you said was correct. But that we make sure that we get that information out to the Albion ministerial staff. So they can enlighten their congregations. And maybe if they have liaisons or whatever. And I did put myself in that in that position
Yes.
that I would be one for Albion. So that I can stay in connection with that because we do have individuals around here that need help, which you spoke of. And they need a lot of help in that area with the homes, finding homes. And
Oh,
if we hadn't known anything of the 211, I do believe we had someone not too long ago that got put
Right.
out. And we could have helped them in that aspect. So, and then we'll be working with the school system. We have families at the school systems, where it be MPS or Concord or Marshall Academy, wherever it may be, there's a need for such a program as this. So I applaud you for allowing them to come here and
Great.
give that information, because that is something that is needed.
So we've had, these programs actually have been available for this county for quite some time.
Mhm.
And the Hara has always been in Battle Creek, so the point was the Hara before. And one of the, problems that we saw, not so much that people didn't know that 211 was available, it's been more transportation. So it's a good thing, this is a good effort showing now that we have it in city where people can go, call 211 and find out where to go in the city of Albion, where they used to have to always travel to Battle Creek to get these things completed.
Mhm.
And that's where the big barrier was. So that's a huge improvement. Because the money's there and it does move quickly. It is, it moves quickly
yeah.
because of the bigger areas that have the availability to be able to get there and apply for these things.
mm,
It's always been in that location, but now we should be able to get, help people around this area.
And if anyone knows of a location where we could expand, so someone could be here on a regular basis. If anybody has a place, the Neighborhood Inc. said they would come in and furnish it and set it all up and staff it. So we're just praying for a location that they could be in 8 to 5, all the time, so that people have a place to go in crisis.
so to our viewing audience, as well as our board members, Mayor Pro Tem, working back and forth with the EDC administration, Virgie,
Mhm.
one of the challenges has been is gaining full capable staff, right? And from a media perspective, how we push as much information out to the community as we can,
Mhm.
right? Recognizing our role is fairly vast for the EPC, it becomes sometimes a challenge. You've heard her say that she's working on some outside contracting abilities to help. But as an add-on, I would encourage all of our board members to encourage the community, those sources, ministerial, social, whatever they may be, to see what the EDC is doing, hear what we have and are offering and pushing, i.e. the supplemental program for community development. And they can help by attending our meetings, right? We have a blog that we're throwing out, right? And keeping a keen ear to what we're doing, right? Because a lot of the information is flowing, but you gotta be there to read it, see it, pick it up, recognize what it is, right? And I think one of the things that I have struggled with, and I know Virgie has struggled with, is how do we get the word out more? And without rehashing the internal efforts, right, that it says that we have to put some leniency on the community to come hear what we've got, right? So as all of you travel, please encourage patrons and citizens to tune in to Zoom, be in our gallery, stop by the EDC office, pick up on our blog, because we're certainly trying to do it that way. No fault to be placed, but just asking the community to tune up, hear us. That will be helpful to us. So each of your travels, if you'd say to them, come by the EDC, see the Zoom, check the blog, you'll hear and see some of these things, some of these offerings, right? Okay. So with that being said, is there any discussion to be had? Further discussion, I guess. No? We don't have participants from the chamber and the like. Virgie, how do you cover that area?
I would just say that, Albion Township has reached out to me and they are very excited to continue to work together. We have some things we're working on in their area. As you know, we are the EDC for those two townships. So it's always good to remember that they're partners and they're a customer for us.
Mhm.
So we try to stay, really close in touch. Ken Blight is of course new in that supervisor role in the last year. So, and then Sheridan, of course, Dick is very busy with solar and with the new fire building extension. And some of you probably have noticed the Dollar General, I believe is the title, going up behind the dentist office on Clark Street. So very excited to have some food options, some shopping options, some grocery options in that part of town.
Are there an actual
So-
grocery store?
It's the Dollar General and it's is that the right name? Sorry, is it Dollar General
Yeah.
or
Dollar General, they have
is it the other?
no, it's Dollar General and they do have it where it's like a grocery shop. If you
Yeah.
ever come right through Marshall.
It
You
has,
go
it
through
has,
50 in Marshall, you can see the store. They have a store now as well.
it's supposed to be high quality produce and, it's
That's the new market that they're doing.
mhm.
Dollar General.
Yes,
And they do have fresh food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have everything frozen.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yeah, they have it's kind of a step up. So pretty
Well, that's a
exciting.
welcome asset for the community, right?
Especially on that end,
Mhm.
I
'cause
would-
that end has to travel all the way, into the city or all the way to Jackson.
Right.
And so then that would bring them into Albion more.
And I think there's gonna be a flavor of walkability too. I'm hoping that we'll find a way to put a sidewalk, around there, because if you're coming from, the,
And Village.
yes, or coming up from the school,
Yeah.
from Harrington,
Mhm.
coming through Clark and then across. When you get over to the dentist office, I think there's gonna be a miss. And so hopefully we can find a way to put an ease way through, so continue to stay out of the road when you're trying to walk there. But it's gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Another suggestion, maybe we need to think about that light as well,
Mm-hmm.
because that light is A red light,
blinking, yeah.
blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dangerous if it has.
So
people.
that's like a four-way stop. It's hard to
Yes.
manage your
Mhm.
pedestrians, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Good, good, excellent. Well, good conversation. Motion to excuse absent members.
So moved.
Support.
May I hear a agreement by voice? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Hearing none opposed, we'll consider that absent members have been excused. We now move to
Public comment?
public comment.
None.
Let's go to the airwaves, as they would say in the fifties. No raised hands from the Zoom community? No, sir. With that being said,
I move that we adjourn.
second. It's been moved, someone in second, all those in favor say yes.
Aye.
All right, all right, thank you all very much. Time is 7:29. Thank you all very much. Bruce, again, welcome.
8:29.